Okay, this is Captain Eric, Winter Haven Freedom Boat Club. Now we're approaching the canals, and the way that we would like for you to go to the canals is when you're a couple hundred yards out, 300 yards or plus, line up so you can see through the canal, that you can see if anybody's coming towards you. As you come in, you're always looking both ways to see if anybody's going to be coming in to try to cut you off. So then also you need to remember, when you're 150 feet out, you need to go to idle speed. And for me, if I can read the sign, I think that's about 150. But you don't want to just go running up on the canal and stop. You want to give plenty of time so that you can get to idle speed. And you also got to remember that when you're going around the lake, you should be 150 feet off the shoreline if you're going to be operating at full speed or good speed. Okay, so I would say this is about 150. Would be about maybe 7 pontoon boats lined up in a line. Okay, so then as we're going through, I'm going to trim the engine up until I hear it starting to break the water. Kind of turning up, but you're still keeping the prop in the water itself. You want to make sure your bimini is down. You're going to stay on the right side of the road. The no wake speed is usually between 11 and 1300 RPM. Idle is anywhere between 500 to 700. And when you're driving hurricane boats like this one, don't try to steer the nose, because it's a flat bottom boat and you'll overcorrect. You want to look at something way down, and that's what you want to aim for, like that big tree. Okay, so we just left the one canal, now we're in Lake Lulu. Now we're coming out to about that 150 mark before you can speed up again. We're about to do the Lake Lulu to Lake Ship canal. It's the longest one in the chain, and it's the trickiest. As you can see, we just pulled up to the edge. We're about 150 feet out. So I'm slowly going at idle speed or no wake zone speed right now until I get up closer. Also, a good reference for trimming your engine and putting down your bimini is when you can read the lake signs. When you're going through the canal, you always want to keep your hand on the throttle, so in case if you hit something, you can put it back into neutral. So we're about to come up to some railroad tracks. These two railroad tracks are the only ones that have poles that are in the middle of the canal. So as you're going one direction, stay to the right. If you're coming from the other direction, you'd be on the left. So as you're going through these, you don't want to look at the poles. You want to look at the next set of poles as you're driving. And also when you're in the canals, you want to always pay attention to the wind, what the wind's doing. When you're going through these, stay to the right so that you can see by leaning over, because you're driving from the right-hand side, because you can't see the left corner. And you see the boat that's coming at us, it's underneath the railroad track that only one boat can go through at a time. So if you see people that are coming through, let them come through, because they're closer to the end of the canal. And always give the courtesy of a Freedom Boat Club hand wave to all boaters. And if you're starting to do a lot of this, trying to straighten out the boat because you're overcompensating, if you see something that you look like you're going to hit in the front, and if you go too much to the left, the back part of the boat's going to hit whatever you were trying to avoid. So when you're in tight areas, always make small corrections. And also coming through the canals, people that are coming from this other lake tend to cut right here in front instead of going out looking in. So when you're coming out, always be careful. Use the lake signs to remind me to go ahead and trim my motor down, hit down.